Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. Today we have a mini release to share with you. This came out on March 5th, so you might have already seen some ideas from our creative team, but this is the new Sugar Egg Builder stamp set and coordinating die set. This is made to work with our egg-shaped die set that came out last month, but it's also a completely standalone set. And we also have the new Eggstravagant Stencil. Isn't that gorgeous? So we're going to jump right in and make some cards. I'm going to start out with the stencil and some distress sprays, some oxide sprays. This is mustard seed. I'm going to go right through the middle with this one, and then I'll do the other sprays at the top and the bottom. I did get a little extra purple ink in the center of my yellow, so you kind of get what you get when you do sprays, but you can also do the stencil very easily with your ink blending and the Blending Buddy brushes. I like to use pixie spray on the back of this stencil. So there's the result. It's still super cool, but I also have a ton of ink left on the top of my stencil. So I'm going to go ahead and use a blank piece of white cardstock to pick up that excess ink and just get something kind of interesting. And I will tell you, I am going to use the backgrounds that I make. Even though that one that I just showed you where I picked up the excess ink, I'll be using that in today's project, and use the spray over areas as well. So I redid it because of that purple that got in the middle, and I liked the one I did second a lot better. And so I also did a second print where I picked up the excess ink off the stencil. So I've got plenty to play with here. All right, now I'm taking the largest egg die, the single egg die in the new Sugar Egg Builder coordinating die set. So there's two standalone egg dies in this that are great for making cards. All right, so that cuts it out perfectly. Then in the stamp set, there's this great frosting piece. I think it's so gorgeous. Just like a sugar egg where you have a hole in your egg and you can look in. So I'm going to kind of play with that vibe and create a shaker card. And this frosting piece is going to be the shaker frame for my card. So I'm going to stamp that with some clear embossing ink and then emboss that with white powder to really give it that kind of frosting detail look. So we're ready for the dipping of the white powder or the sprinkling of the white powder, and I did use my powder tool so that my powder would only stick to where I stamped my ink. Then it's time to heat emboss that and melt that powder, and it just transforms into this gorgeous frosting image. Now this die right here is connected, and I recommend that you leave it connected so that you can easily die cut this piece out into a frame all at once. You can, however, cut it apart if that works better for you, but I like it as a frame. All right, so now we're going to do a little ink blending around the edge. I brought in my Distress Oxide ink pads and my shading sidekicks. Somehow I didn't get it recorded. Sometimes I miss the button when I think I did. So I just went around the edge, but I'll show you the shading sidekick here on this piece. I thought my purple cardstock really matched that Seedless Preserves, but once I got it embossed, I don't know, it just didn't seem to go exactly how I wanted it to coordinate, so I just went over it with the same ink. And then I can buff off any of the ink that sat on top of my embossing powder so it still shows as white. And now doing a little bit of shading on top of already purple cardstock just goes really quick and easy. So I love the result and how that turned out. Now I'm going to stamp that cute little swan image from the stamp set. I think it's a great focal piece for a sugar egg, but also you can shop your stash and put so many fun things for Easter that you probably have already inside of the sugar egg. So I love that about it. And then I'm just using some cool grays for my Mama Swan here, and I'll blend that out with my C0 marker just to have a little bit of a highlight there. I think that really helps bring the mama to life. All right, so once we do that, we have our water to color, and I wanted to go for kind of a sunset vibe with this, so I'm giving my water a little transformation and using some BV markers. And I thought that was a really different way that you could color this up besides a daytime blue water look. I have some greens here for my grass, and I really did not do well with setting the lids on the table for you to see today. Sometimes I just hold on to it, but I just picked out some colors that I thought were cute you know, kind of would coordinate with my paper. So I'm using Olo markers and Olo marker paper. I absolutely love their paper for coloring. So next is the little sunset. So I'm coloring around this. Not all of this is going to show because I'll die cut it out and the die is going to cut away a lot of it, but it will help kind of blend this into the background a little bit more than if it just had a white border. So that's what I'm doing. I think it turns out really cute with that just touch of that kind of coral color around the edge. So here's the die. It's going to cut around this really tight and nice. I love that. I love when there's only a small white border around my die cuts. Next, I'm creating the window part of my shaker. So I'm gluing this frosting frame onto a window sheet. I'm going to let that set for just a minute and then I'll bring in my scissors, and you can see my scissors are very angled so that the bottom of the scissors is angled towards my oval, my die cut frosting here, and that's going to help me just cut away at this so it doesn't show from the front. All right, we'll let that completely dry and bring in more Distress Oxide spray. Is that what you thought I was going to say? I was not loving my background, and so I decided to create a new one and have it be a little less purple, a little less dark. I don't know, something just wasn't clicking for me. So the color I added is the Kitsch Flamingo. So I put that at the top, and the other two colors I kept the same, and it just lightened it up a little bit. I'll still include the purple, but I'll have 4 different colors now, and I really like how the background looks lightened up. But don't worry, I am going to use those other pieces because we're making 3 cards in today's video, so stay tuned for that. All right, now I'll bring in my foam strips, and I wanted to point out this little tip for you that you can put little snips into your foam tape if you're going around a tight area and you still want to curve it. You don't have to cut it all the way through, but just adding a little snip helps you to be able to bend it. So that's what I did there at the top of the egg. For my shaker, I am filling this with the new Aura Chunky Shreds. These look like Easter grass to me. Of course, they could be used for other things as well, but I love these for Easter. So I put that inside my shaker and then added my window over the top. And my swan is sitting inside the sugar egg. You could also put it on the top of the window. I've done that for shakers with this set as well. All right, so then it's time to add this to our egg-shaped card. You can see that die set there on the left, and it is perfect for this card, but you can make other egg-shaped cards with that die set by itself. I took the largest egg from that set, and I'm putting it on the back here to give my panel a little bit of sturdiness and lift, and that kind of got me thinking about all the different egg products that we had come out in last month's release and this month's release, and how they would probably nest together really well. So you've got 5 different egg, like standalone egg shapes between these 3 sets, and they are all going to layer together. So it's almost, when you have all 3 of these, like having a nested egg die set all on its own. There's the 5 pieces. There's also 3 mini eggs in the Easter basket die that came out in February. I'll be using that die set to accentuate my card in just a minute. Like these flowers, they came from that Easter basket set. I'm going to create 3 flower clusters. So I'm going to layer 2 flowers together, and I just dusted the center with a little bit of yellow, and then I'm adding a yellow bauble on top of that to complete these flowers. I think they're really pretty. I'm only going to end up using 2 on this card, and I'll save 1 for another card in today's video. So there we have them with their baubles. They're so pretty. I wanted to cut out some purple flowers, and I wanted them to match because I am very matchy-matchy, and I wanted to bring out more of that purple. So I just brought in that overspray area, and it was perfect for die cutting out my flowers. And I'll even do some of the saltwater taffy for these flowers right here. So I've got 3 different kinds of flowers going on. There's actually 4 flower dies in that Easter basket set. By the way, that Easter basket die, if you haven't already seen it, you can die cut the basket and it fits on the egg-shaped card. So you can use the basket by itself or on an egg shape, and I love that. It's so cute. All right, so now I'm going to decorate my egg with these flowers and just kind of do some flower arranging. It's a really fun part of making a card. I am really good at this versus regular flower arranging with real flowers, not as good at that as I am at paper flowers. All right, so as I'm doing this, I'm adding in different baubles from my collection. If you haven't checked out the embellishment section at Trinity Stamps, definitely do that. We have over 600 embellishments in the shop. I decided to go ahead and add some green leaves, and I'm loving how this turned out. Next, it's time for a sentiment. So I thought I was just going to use the word blessings, but I do actually end up doing Easter blessings. I'm going to do some embossing with my Distress Oxide ink, again for matching purposes. And so I'm using that Seedless Preserves, stamping it down a couple times, and then embossing with clear powder over the top. And that's going to give me that matchy look that I love. And just embossing this on a scrap left over from doing all of my spraying there, and really making use of all my pieces of cardstock. I'm sure you do that too. Do you save all your tiny scraps? I do. All right, so there we have the word blessing, and you can see the die is going to bubble cut that out for you. And then here's where I decided, yeah, I better do the word Easter too. I like that better. So we stick those down right on to the window sheet with some liquid glue so I can scoot them around and get them straight. And also the help of some tweezers really makes it easier for me to be able to see where I'm placing it. My hand's not in the way. So I love tweezers for that. All right, so that's card number 1, my shaker. Next, we're going to make the simplest card. So here's the panel I ended up not using. I'm going to bring in the Happy Easter set, which is 2 dies. You can put these down at the same time onto your cardstock and cut this out, and you're going to get a Happy Easter frame. That's what we're doing here. So you can see me making sure everything's lined up before I tape it down. Run that through, and it's going to go on top of this, and that's your card. I mean, spray your stencil, put this Happy Easter on top, stick it onto your egg-shaped card, and it's good to go. And think about all the things you could do for the background of this. You could use patterned paper, you could do ink blending, you could use so many different kinds of stencils. You could do a gel press print, you could do a shaving cream background, which is one of my personal favorite things to make. So this die really just elevates any kind of background that you want to make by putting the Happy Easter over the top. And I chose gold mirror paper for, you know, a classy, shiny, bright look. So many possibilities with this, and it's easy enough to make with maybe some kids. If you like to make cards with kids, this would be a really fun project for them. All right, so here's the one where I picked up the excess ink off of the stencil. I'm going to do some ink blending right over the top here. I'm coming in with yellow, and I had so much yellow ink on my brush. I always tend to try to get the ink off my brush first, unless I'm really trying to be very color specific. Next, I have that saltwater taffy I'm putting at the top, and I'm pretty much just using the same colors as I used when I created these, and the ink on the bottom is already dry, so it doesn't matter that my yellow is going over more of a purpley area. And I think it's going to turn out great. So Seedless Preserves at the bottom, and this one comes in really dark. Apparently my Seedless Preserves pad is very juicy. So because of that, I am going to add a little bit more ink to the other 2 areas, but I really love even this softer look. Isn't that great? So here I am kind of brightening up those areas. I brought out the mustard seed pad after all. And also I felt like where the ink overlaps could be blended a little bit better. So that's another reason why I brought out the ink and added a little bit more to this. By the way, I am doing my ink blending on the Clingy Craftmate. It's a new photopolymer pad that you can use for ink blending and stenciling, and I've put it on top of a 9x12 Glassboard Studio glass mat. Very helpful for these inky things that I love to do. So that's new in the shop. If you haven't seen that already, make sure you check that out. All right, I have some sparkle here I am tapping on because I also did some splatter with water. I love a inky splattery look on my cards, so I had to do one of these with that look. This is the big cut and foil Easter, and I cut this from white, and then there's also a shadow layer for this which also cuts out the hot foil Easter. I think it's still available in the shop. It's an older product, but if not, we also have the Simply Sentimental Easter that just came out that has 5 different Easter fonts, so you could really pick any of those to fit on top of this card and it would look amazing. So I put that on a shadow layer with vellum, and you'll see I have the word blessing over there. That is stamped with clear ink and embossed with white powder on yellow cardstock. Next, I brought in the bow from the Easter basket and added a dusting of that same seedless preserves to darken this up, give it some shadow, help it match my card better. And I just love this bow from the Easter basket die, and it works great in so many other applications besides just the Easter basket. So that'll go on the top of my card. Look how cute. All right, so now I have my chocolate bunny, also from the Easter basket set, and I'm going to dust this up with a little bit of brown from my Shading Sidekick brush to give it a little shadow. And I had some leftover flowers and leaves I did not use on my first card, so I'm going to use that. I have another lightweight chipboard I'm putting behind this to make it flat, make it sturdy, and then I can add this to my egg-shaped card. By the way, the egg-shaped card will fit into an A2 sized envelope. Now I'm showing you all of these cards on the egg shape, but you don't have to use the new sugar egg builder or the stencil, the Eggstravagant stencil, on an egg shape. You can do these on a card. I have done 3 cards with these sets that are not on an egg shape. So the possibilities are endless with this, and you can see more of these projects on the website. If you go to the listing for these, there's lots of projects you can scroll through and see what the other designers on our team have made with it as well. All right, so I decided to give this a little bit of an ombre effect by using my saltwater taffy brush, and I love just darkening it up at the bottom and bringing in more of variety of colors from my card to the sentiment. So that's going to go right at the bottom of Easter, and then I'll add my chocolate bunny and my flowers to complete this card. This card might be my favorite of the 3, but once I started, I just couldn't stop making cards with all those fun sprayed backgrounds that I had made with the Eggstravagant Detail stencil. I think it's a really fun stencil and versatile. So I hope that you are loving it as well, and maybe you already got the egg-shaped card, and here's some new things that you can use along with it. So I'm just finishing up my florals, and then I'll add some centers to these flowers. I found these baubles in my stash that totally match with this bright purple, so I thought that was really fun for the centers. So that is my card, my 3 cards with this new collection. What do you guys think of a mini collection? Do you like that? I also added a light blue bauble for the bunny's eye. My one that I had done with my gel pen just was too small, so I added a bauble there. So let us know what you think of these new products and this mini release. It is available now in the shop, so be sure to go over and check out the Sugar Egg Builder stamp set and die set, as well as the Eggstravagant Detail stencil. All right, thank you guys so much for stopping by. You can also find more inspiration from Trinity Stamps on our Instagram and our Facebook page, and we also have a Facebook group that you can join. You can share your Trinity Stamps projects there as well. So find all the links for all the things in the description box below, and I'll see you all again very soon with a new video right here on the Trinity Stamps channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.